Hey everyone on YouTube, my name is Dr. Monroe Mann, joined today with lovely Alice in Canada. We're having a book club event. Today we're again talking about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Today we're talking about habit 3, which is do first things first. And so I'll share my screen here. And yeah, so what we were talking about, so doing first things first. What does that mean to you, first of all? Doing first things first. Here, let me go up to the beginning of the chapter. What does that mean to you, Alice?
The important things first. And the people usually doing urgent and important first, like me before, And then I read this part, I think is that way. Is for highly effective people should doing important things first, not urgent first, right?
Well, it doesn't. I think that's the interesting. We're talking about the 4 quadrants. We'll talk about that in a moment. But basically, yeah, we have to figure out what is the most important thing that we should be doing at any point in time, and that's what we should focus on. And this is a great quotation from Goethe. Oh, Ileana's joining us. And it says, things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least.
Yes.
It's so nice to see you, Ileana, not only because you're lovely and beautiful and a good friend, but because you have light behind you and it's daytime. It's so, like, look behind me. It's so depressing, the darkness.
I can show you something else. So I'm happy.
Yes, let's cheer us up.
Yeah, outside is not already.
Is that a swimming pool?
Yeah.
Is that at your villa?
Oh, what?
Where are you?
My villa.
So that's your swimming pool?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, first things first, I think you should be in the swimming pool.
What's the temperature there now?
The temperature?
Yeah.
Wait, let me check.
It's 10:20 a.m., right?
11.
Oh, it's 11.
Yeah, it's 13 hours difference.
I asked my phone what time is it in Indonesia, and it said 10:20.
There's 2 time zones. In Jakarta, it's 10, but in Bali, it's 11.
Got it.
Yeah, now it looks like same with China.
Have you guys met each other before, Ileana and Alice?
It's 86 right now.
Yeah, that's
86 degrees?
Yeah, Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius.
I think today it's above freezing in New York, which is wonderful. What's the temperature now in New York? 37, which is, I actually, it was so nice. It was 38 degrees today. I went for a bike ride. So
30, around minus 3, my place.
Are you talking about Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Celsius.
It's 30 here.
Okay. Wow.
There's 30? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that part, you know that, like south of China, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, south of China, this time almost 30. But even now 30, 24 or 20, 25, like Sanya, Hainan, right?
Yeah. I went to Sanya once. Very nice.
Yeah.
I put my priorities first and got on a plane and went to Sanya. Yeah, I went to Sanya with a friend and we drove bikes all around. We went scuba diving.
Wow.
There are so many Russians there, and so many of the restaurants are in Russian lettering, not in Chinese, because it's like the Miami of New York, but like people from Russia will go to Bulgaria. They'll go to Bulgaria and they'll go to Sanya.
Well, they go to Egypt too.
And Egypt. Those Russians, they go everywhere.
Like one place. you know.
Yeah, they go to
Russia, so
Russia doesn't have any very nice beaches and things, so they find these choice places in that's
warm
very
and
interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, like there are some of those countries that have no real summers.
there's no real summers.
I think Russia has a very tiny port, but I don't think they have tropical beaches. About that, but China and the U.S. both have winter and mountains, but they also have tropical areas down in the south of the countries, and so.
So which city you went have been the China? No?
Oh gosh, many.
Uh-huh.
Almost all the big cities on the East Coast, except I haven't been to Hong Kong. I haven't been to Shenzhen, but I've been to Beijing and Shanghai and Nanjing and Suzhou and Hangzhou and Guangzhou and Zhou and Zhou and Zhou.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of Zhous.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's so many Zhous, but I have not met many Zhous.
Yeah, Guangzhou is really beautiful. Went to the tower, right? Guangzhou.
Yeah, in Guangzhou, I didn't get to see all of it. I was stuck there on a layover for a day and a half because of a typhoon.
Oh.
And so they put us in a hotel, and we kind of had to stay within the area of the hotel for as soon as the airline was going to take off again, the airplane.
Yeah.
But
Good.
did you freeze, Ileana? I don't. Oh, there you are. You froze for a moment. But let's get back to first things first, the most important things first, and that's talking about Stephen Covey's habit number 3.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to this. So this quote here, what do each of you think about this? Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least.
I agree.
I think we all would agree. What you have to explain your philosophy on it.
Often we choose to do the easier things because they're easier and they're like small wins. But then sometimes that makes the bigger, the more important things suffer. Like, for example, say you only have like a few hours in the day to do your homework or something, and you decide, okay, I'm going to, I don't know, do my chores first, or clean the bathroom, which could be done after you finish your homework, right? Because you don't want to do the homework, even though the homework is more important at this moment than doing your bathroom, cleaning your bathroom.
And Alice?
Yeah, there's usually these things more easy. You like relax and present, and you feel more easy. You want to take, but.
So just so I know, you want me to help with your English. You can never say more easy. You say easier.
Easier, yeah.
Okay.
My grammar really bad. I always, have two. I always take a close. I always take a wrong one.
It's okay. You'll get there. There are times we can say more easy, such as it's much more easy to.
Much more easy to.
But you don't say it's more easy. It's usually it's much more easy than, or this is easier than.
Okay.
So anyway. So
yeah,
but so continue with what you were saying with the proper grammar this time. Say it again, Alice. I can't hear you. You're muted. You muted yourself. Can't hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, there you go.
Okay. And I tell this book, sometimes I read some Chinese, but this one I cannot really understand. I cannot really understand that what they talk. So this kind of book I read Chinese book. And
Can I tell you this? What you just said is the exact opposite of what this habit is about. It's easier for you to read Chinese, and it hurts your brain to force yourself to try to read the book in English, even though you know you need to improve your English, but you take the easy way out,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
and I think that's what this quote is saying: things which matter most but never be at the mercy of things which matter least. I think it's more important that you read 2 pages of it in English and understand that than read the whole chapter in Chinese and don't learn to improve your English. Don't you agree?
Yes. A 2-page, I take it 2 page, I take 2 hours, and I give up. Oh, wow, so hard for me.
Can I tell you this? It's the same thing with me in Chinese. And I have my, I'll show you here just so. I've got my, where did I put it? I was reading it 2 days ago. I can't find it now. It's disappeared. Anyway, I have my little Chinese novel, and
Yeah.
I can, sometimes it takes me an hour to read 1 page because I'm looking up all of the characters, but I force myself because you have to. It's the only way I'm going to eventually get to the point where I can read a newspaper very easily. So, and my take on this, that things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. I'm reminded that we were talking earlier in the chat room just about the fact that I need to be more positive in my life because I've allowed depression and anxiety and just lack of hope for my future to get in my way more than it should, more than it did when I was in my 20s and 30s. I guess it's my midlife crisis or whatnot. But I kind of realized that things which matter least in some ways is how I feel. And we all know that action creates emotion. So if I just would forget about how I feel and just do what I know needs to be done, generally the mood dissipates and you start to feel better when you get engrossed in doing some coding study or reading a book in Chinese or studying Chinese or writing in my novel, whatever it may be. So we went to these things here, these 2 questions, we were talking about them. What one thing could you do that if you did on a regular basis would make a tremendous positive difference in your personal life? And it doesn't have to be 1, maybe you could say 3 or 4. Some of the things that I put, some of the things I could do that I'm not doing now, if I did on a regular basis, I have this Joel Osteen inspiration
What
cube. It's there's a guy named Joel Osteen. He's a Christian preacher. And if you look at his YouTube channel, he's got millions of subscribers and he has very motivational messages, but I saw this cool little device, made in China, go figure. And he has different buttons, daily inspiration, sermon, daily affirmation, favorites. I'll do the daily affirmation now with you guys because it's short. It's about 30 seconds. Listen.
I declare that you will live victoriously. You were created in the image of God. You have the DNA of a winner. You are wearing a crown of favor. Royal blood flows through your veins. You are the head and not the tail, above and never beneath. I declare that you will live with purpose, passion, and praise, knowing that you were destined to live in victory.
Victory! So I know that if I in the morning listen to the daily affirmation and the daily inspiration, I think that'll help me get off each day to a more positive start. And so I think the number one thing is I've got to change my attitude and refine my mojo that I used to have when I was younger. I'd also, although I do coding study every week, I know if I doubled the amount that I did each week, break diving would progress at a much faster pace. And I know even though I feel like I push myself, I don't do as much as I could. because I spend a lot of time watching movies and TV shows and YouTube. And I think if I could cut that in half and replace it with coding study, that would be a positive difference. Ileana, you're next.
Okay, so a few things that I could do that would make a tremendous positive difference on my life. I think the most important thing right now is exercising consistently. Like I start to, like I'll go for a few days. Like, yeah, I'm really motivated. I'm going to do it. And then it just stops. So I need to make a plan to do it at least a little bit every day. The second thing, I think my Indonesian study, I mean, I'm living in Indonesia, so I'm in Indonesia now. So it's important to be able to communicate with the people instead of just focusing on English all the time, because not everyone speaks English.
Yeah, I think, Ileana, that's the same thing I was saying to Alice and to myself. It's easy for me to just go to Amazon or Netflix and start watching something, to just wallow in my and it's easy to just go to English as your go-to language, Ileana, and Alice, it's easy for you to just go to Chinese, and we're all taking the easy way out.
Well, I'm getting better at it because I started to learn Indonesian on Duolingo, and the sentences that they come up with, I'm trying to use them with like the security guards or people I meet on the street, like the waiters and waitresses. But
That's
I
what you
have to
gotta
make more of
do.
an effort to try, at least.
Maybe we can make a Indonesian chat room. I don't know if that would help. Alice, how about you?
Me, now I feel I'm trying getting better. Before I always just watching, Chinese Chinese with the television or TV, and then go online check news in Chinese. So now most time I just trying change and then watching English movie. Watching movie now getting better now, can understand, but still cannot writing. Writing is like the grammar always makes it, that's is a big problem. And then I just think, oh, okay, now I'm getting better. And then when I do 1 hour something, oh, today I'm okay. I already working 1 hour. I have to take a rest, do something.
That's great. Well, always remember you can write in English in the community, and we'll try to help you. So write a paragraph, and we'll show you how to make it even better. So if we go down to here, I think where's I hope I didn't lose the quotation that I had highlighted before, because I had highlighted something else. What was his? Let's hope we can find this. No, because it's not there. So let me, what's that? What was that guy's name that we talked about in the community? What was, I put the quotation in here. Here it is, by E.M. Gray. That was somewhere in that chapter. I can't find it right now, but Alice, can you read this out loud?
The successful person has the habit of doing the things failures don't like to do. They don't like doing them either necessarily, but they're disliking is but subordinated to to the strange of the
Purpose.
purpose.
So strength of their purpose. Say that.
Strange.
Yes.
Strange of their purpose.
Good. So Ileana, what does this mean to you?
It means people that are more successful do things because they know it will help them achieve their goals or their dreams, and they don't like to do it all the time. It's not like they choose to do them. Like they have the choice between doing easy things and the thing that will help them get to their goal, and they decide to do the thing that will help them get to the goal instead of taking the easy way out.
Again, I'm just thinking about, you think about Amazon and Netflix and YouTube. 99% of the population wastes their time watching all of those shows on there. And they have a purpose as a reward for hard work. I think people reward themselves with watching that, myself included, before they do the hard work. And it just reminds me, I
want to make it relax.
Exactly, yeah. And I think most people just don't want to make the effort to do the things that they know will make them successful or get where they need to go, and they watch TV all the day anyway. What were you going to say, Elliot?
I think the thing too is that people, they live their lives on autopilot instead of instead of participating actively in their life. They just click, do what's next, instead of choosing, okay, this will help me get to this point. They don't have a real direction that they're going towards.
All right, so how about this? As an exercise right now, take out a piece of paper, or if you don't have paper, write on your phone or something. Write down a list of the things that are really important that you need to get done this week. That no excuses. You're gonna get it done. That you've been putting off or that you've been delaying. So I'm gonna come up with a list. It could be 3 things. It could be 10 things. I came up with 5. How many did you come up with, Ileana?
5.
And Alice, how many did you do?
I only need 2.
2. Okay, that's fine. So we don't
Yeah.
have to share them yet because I want to go over that quadrant thing that we were talking about. And I found some interesting diagrams that we can go over to remind ourselves about how this works. And so we have the 4 quadrants, and in quadrant 1, which is where we should be most of the time, but we're not, important. Well, this one and important and non-urgent. These are the two categories where we should be. So Ileana, can you read the situations where we have important and urgent tasks? What are those 5 things?
So when we have crises, emergencies, pressing problems, deadline-driven problems, or last-minute preparations.
Good. So let's see. What are some examples of this? Your computer suddenly crashes and you need to get a new one. That's important and urgent. Alice, let's all try to come up with something in our own personal life that what would be an important but urgent thing. So I think that would be one in my life. Is the computer crashes. Say it again, Ileana.
Need to move out of the villa and find a new one.
Yes, you got to move quickly. Alice?
Important and urgent.
Yeah, what's something in your life that might be important and urgent?
Yeah, I need to finish my website part. No, this is important and urgent because I need to do that. That's it.
If you need to hire someone to help you, Ileana's very, very good.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she does for a living, is design websites and
Oh,
improve them and such. And she's worked for some very high-profile clients, so she knows how to do what she does.
really?
That's how she can afford her jet set lifestyle, traveling from country to country.
Oh, went to many countries, right? Yeah,
And what's that, Alice?
Yeah, my husband is IT guy, but he's teaching, and then these days he helped me, and then things is a little bit hard. We have working together, I doing Chinese the part in my website, most Chinese, right? Because I got a student from China, and then he don't know Chinese. He speak English.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know Chinese, so we have to working together. That sometimes little hard,
Hey, Alice, you
Mm,
know what you need to do?
yeah.
Maybe you need to start learning how to code yourself so you can do it all on your own, right?
Yeah, I have to.
So let's jump here to quadrant 2, important but not urgent. And I was saying before, this is where most of us should be, but we neglect for these other quadrants.
Yeah.
So Alice, can you read these?
Preparation, planning,
Prevention,
values, clarification,
Yep.
and then capability improvement, relationship building, true recreation, relaxation. I cannot see clear my eyes.
It's okay. I'm sure it's very small to see all that.
Yeah.
These are all the things that improve your future. Values clarification, capability improvement. So studying, going to school, waking up an extra 30 minutes, trying to, it's interesting too. Some of the things that we think are not urgent but important are actually urgent and important. For example, me overcoming this mentality that I have, that I've been going through, this morass of crapola, that's urgent and important. And yet I act as if it's not urgent and important. I don't think I take it seriously enough for me to find a solution to what's going on. You know, it's interesting too. Look at the last one, true recreation and relaxation. I can't remember the time that I took a day off. A day off where I did nothing. Part of me thinks I'm incapable of doing it, because for me, fun is coding, reading Chinese, studying French, riding my bike. But I don't know. I think maybe we all need to say, hey, how can we actually plan that?
You know what's funny? On my list is mostly, well, the last two items has to do with true recreation and relaxation, because it just takes so much time and effort to plan it and to put effort into, okay, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to do, and those kinds of things. This is the best price for what I want to do. It's easier to just throw myself into work and just get that done than it is to set the time out to plan, research, and then actually do it.
I can relate. Well said. And I'll read the third category, third quadrant. Not important and urgent. Interruptions, some callers, some mail, some meetings, many pressing matters, popular activities. Yeah, so it's funny. I think what's a popular activity? How is that urgent? How is a popular activity?
Not important. Like
How
following
is it urgent?
trends.
Like
Like
going out
following
with your friends,
trends.
maybe?
Or following trends on the internet.
Oh,
If
trends.
you're not on the trend, then you'll miss it when it passes
Yeah,
by.
I think if you spend time on social media, even on YouTube and stuff, it seems like it's urgent because it's right there in front of you.
Or
Many-
like some of the videos, they are posted. Maybe I'll say, oh, it was posted 3 days ago. If I don't watch it, then it'll go away and then go
disappear.
to the next. Yeah.
And let's look at quadrant 4. Not important, not urgent.
But there was
Busy
one more
work.
thing that I wanted to talk about regarding the urgent, not important.
Oh, let's hear it.
Sometimes, like when we're working or just in our day-to-day lives, other people will say, oh, this is so important, this is so important, you have to do this, you have to do this. But you have to think, okay, it's important to you, but it's not
Mhm.
important to me. It's kind of like when you're like in my own personal situation, maybe a client has a deadline that's 2 days later.
Mhm.
Well, if it's important to them, but it's not that important, like it'll cause stress and stuff, so have to balance it.
He talks about that in that chapter too, that he, at his company, he went to somebody and said, hey, I need you to do this for me very quickly. And this person said, sure, Steven, let me just show you something. And he went to his wallet and said, so these are the things that I'm working on. I'm doing this project here. I'm doing this thing over here. I still have to remember to do this here. Later this afternoon, I'm doing this. But he says, which of these things would you prefer that I
Like to
stop working on
Yeah.
so that I can do your thing? And he said, I decided I didn't want him to stop doing any of the things he was doing. And so he
Yeah.
found somebody else to delegate it to. And so it reminded me of that. And I think that is key. What somebody else is urgent and important may not be your urgent and important, or may not be maybe the other person thinks it's urgent and important, but you need to educate them to explain actually it's not. And I was talking about that whenever someone comes up to you with a very urgent matter who thinks it's urgent and important, you tell them that's fine. It'll cost 3 times as much money as normal. Oh, suddenly it becomes something becomes important, but not urgent. And they say, I can wait 3 weeks or 3 days or 3 hours or whatnot. Alice, do you have anything to contribute regarding urgent and not important?
Me? These things I do many. Sometimes like say, sometimes you get phone call, like, and then really not important. You have talking with someone, right? And then you feel that is urgent. Actually not, nothing, just waste time. And then for me, I just say most of the time I'm staying that part important but urgent. Urgent but important. And I feel it's urgent but not like that, right?
So you
So
think it's urgent and important, but really it's urgent and not important?
yeah, sometimes like that.
Mhm.
It's
I think we
urgent but
all
not
do this. I think
important.
we all confuse the different categories all the time, and we spend our precious time doing something that's not really that urgent and not that important, and then we neglect and we think that the things that are actually urgent and important we can wait till later, and causes problems.
Yeah, like today I just make my video, right? I doing video, and then my friend called me, and I didn't pick up, but later they sent me message, and I was thinking, oh, maybe he's have important urgent things to call me. Actually, nothing, and I finished this part. In the middle, I check nothing, So I'm not that really control about this.
I usually don't pick up the phone when people call me because
Yeah,
I just don't think 9 times out of 10 it's
yeah,
not important and it's not urgent. And if it
yes.
really is urgent and important, they'll send me a text message or they'll call me a second, third, fourth time. I've been getting this phone call twice a day for the last 3 days from Ghana.
Oh,
And
loud house.
I don't really think I know anyone from Ghana unless it's somebody from break diving and they found my phone number and they're calling me. But if it were really
No.
important, wouldn't they leave a voicemail?
No, you have to
And
notice Ghana, most of the people is a scam. Yeah. And
it
then
it could be. We have a lot of people in Ghana in the community that aren't. So I know that there are there, but also I just don't want to pick it up because I don't want to pay for a long distance call for someone I don't even know. It says you can leave a voicemail, and then I'll pick up once I know. Finally, in this last category, quadrant 4, not urgent, not important, busy work, trivial activities, some calls and emails, escape activities, and time wasters. So on the other side of your paper, I want you to write down 5 not urgent, not important things that you have been doing in this last 30 days that you're going to try to stop doing this week. And again, if you can't come up with 5, that's great. That's a good thing. Okay. I think there's another version of this that this actually gives examples.
I think the thing on the bottom right, the similar image on the bottom right.
This one?
Okay. No, there was something else that I saw, but yeah, this is good too.
Which one?
On bottom right, urgent, not urgent, manage and do, plan and focus. But I think the other one that you had.
Wait.
This one just had examples.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so watching mindless TV, reading mindless books, mindless computer games, internet surfing, doing things you could get someone else to do less expensively or more quickly than you. I hate poor grammar.
So
Ugh.
no, you know what? My problem is I feel everything I do is important. That is, like you
But
said,
I guess, but that's the thing is not everything you do is as important as some of the other things. You have to prioritize them and decide which of my 10 things that are important are the most important, and do those things first. Important to other. That's look, Ileana. That's exactly urgent, and not important are things that are important to other people. Answering personal calls, drop-in visitors, doing favors,
okay.
opening the mail, saying yes to activities that distract you from quadrant 2 up here. Not urgent and important business planning, your health, Ileana, doing your exercise, like you said, professional development, listening and relationships, preparation for meetings, goal setting, holidays and recreation time, producing systems. This one's very interesting, Ileana, because
Producing system.
systems.
Yeah, systems means
We've been creating landing pages for our Google ads for break diving manually for years. And finally, we just realized this is not very efficient. It's not urgent at all to code that because we have another method that works. But finally, Bhavya was on a call with me and she inspired me to just get to it. And I finished it very quickly in about 4 hours. And something that took me just 4 hours is going to now save us massive amounts of time because we've got a better system now. And it inspired me to think about the other things we're doing at break diving that are effective, but very inefficient. And so that's what we need to really be spending more time on in all our lives is what are we doing that's working well, but is taking 12 hours a week when we can maybe do it in 2 hours and reduce the amount of time it takes. Urgent and important, answering business phone calls, dealing with clients, a broken machine like my computer, I was mentioning, crying baby, deadline. What's fascinating about this, if you produce good systems, these things will all be taken care of ahead of time by other people. Or when it does happen, you already have a system, a way to solve it quickly. What's fascinating about this too is this applies to finance too. For many years in my 20s and 30s, I was doing my finances always urgent and important. And I was never planning for not urgent and important. And I realized people who are good at savings and people who don't have a lot of credit card debt, they're very good at quadrant 2. And I was not in this for a long time. I had lots of credit card debt and I always had emergencies. I never had enough money to handle emergencies. And my finances are now in quadrant 2, not quadrant 1, because I have good savings. My credit card debt is gone after last month. It's officially gone. And so now I can start with the goal setting of saving lots more money for emergencies. And so then when something happens, when there is a broken computer, okay, no big deal. I've got the money that I've been saving up already. How about you guys in your financials? Just very quickly, do you see how this could apply to your finances?
I'm doing better at it now, like saving money and stuff.
Yeah, you know, it's funny too. I was talking about this. It's kind of, I'm excited about it. Or I'm relieved, but it's also, there's a word. I read this somewhere that when you get to become friendly with your problems because they become a part of you. So all of a sudden, like now that I've gotten rid of all of my credit card debt and I have very little of this private student loan to pay off too, which will be gone in a few months. It's kind of sad that I don't have any debt anymore because that used to be something that I was working so hard for. It was the reason and now I feel like the purpose for me making money is kind of gone. Now my only purpose is to make more money by investing it. And for some reason, it doesn't drive me as much. But I still think it's better that I'm in this not urgent and important category with finances now.
But
Alice,
you
how
can
about,
choose
go ahead,
to
Eliana.
you
What?
can choose to invest the money in other things now.
Yeah, for me, before I always okay, but after the coronavirus, my business almost stopped. I don't have business, so I have to try to use my time. Is first preparing after the market getting better, and then try to improve my English. Maybe later I can change my career like that. So, like you said, most time, actually in China before a long time, I always should be in part two. But after to Canada, I feel not good in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the US, but here, I came here, I have a language problem, and then I want to do my business, but I'm here. The most time I cannot competition with in China that agent, right? They always around them is student.
What I've learned over the years, and it's why I've done so much. I'm really proud of how I've managed the finances at Break Diving, and we have so much money in savings to make sure that the company will not go under. I've learned that because of the poor way I managed my finances in the first, on the last, I was saying from my 20 to 35, when I was 20 to 35, and I've just relearned that nothing is a sure thing. And no matter how good your life situation is now, it could change in a moment's notice. And you might be making lots of money now and you think you're never going to have problems. If you think that you could lose your job tomorrow, and then there's a leak in the roof, and then all of a sudden, blah, 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 and coronavirus happens. And before you know it, you have no money. You've spent it all on the roof of the house. And now you have, and you never were saving. And so it's just, everything comes together to help me realize my financial goal is actually to have 3 years worth of expenses saved up. I know financial planners say, oh, you should have 6 months, or you really shouldn't have more than 6. To me, I think if you can have 3 months, 3 years of expenses saved up, that's real freedom. That's real freedom, where you can really I've learned you can start to take a lot more risks the more you have saved up. And I've learned that with the stock market too. The more money that I earn, I almost feel like, oh, good, I have this extra money now in the cash value of the stock market account. On the next investment, I'll double it, because I realize, okay, if I can afford to lose more of it because I've saved up more of it. By the way, in the last week and a half, I've learned how to be a superstar day trader of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Dogecoin. Ever since that Doge thing went up, I'm going to take off the screen share thing, because I just want to share this, because it's the last thing that I think and then we're going to share our lists, and then we'll be done. When I bought all these different cryptocurrencies on Coinbase, I'd always look and see what the average hold period was. And I was always so surprised that the average hold period was usually like 3 days, 5 days, 7 days for each of these different cryptocurrencies. And I don't know why it didn't just logically hit me, they're day trading it. But I've realized now, because of that thing that happened with AMC and then Dogecoin, if you look at how much all of these, every single one of the cryptocurrencies, how much it fluctuates each day. All I do is I'll buy it when it's at a low, or it's at basically a new high. I'll buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, and I'll just set the limit price to sell it at $55. And when it gets up to 55, boom, it just sells. Then it'll drop down again, inevitably, the price. And Bitcoin's not when I say 50, 55, just being the amount that I have. But I've been doing that. Like, I made $7 this morning on one, and then I made $6 on another. I made 15 on another. And the cool thing is, crypto is not stock, so you're not considered a day trader by doing multiple all day. So anyway, just look into it because it's very, very interesting. Anyway, let's share our list. I'll share mine first. First, the things that I'm not going to do. And by not doing these things, I'm going to be able to accomplish the things that I'm going to do. So I'm not going to be watching TV and YouTube and movies as much this week. I'm not going to play as many games on my phone. I'm not going to be ruminating on my past. And I'm not going to be fearing failure and chaos and anxiety in my future. And by doing that, I'll be able to write 2,000 words in my novel, finish all of this Ruby blocks course that I've been working through, complete 10 JavaScript lessons on W3 schools, do 30 minutes of hack Chinese per day this week. And when I wake up, each morning, I'm going to press the inspiration cube sermon and inspiration thing while I do 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups. And I think that I'm going to see if this gets me off to a better week. Alice, you're next.
Yeah. The first this week, I'm not going to, looking for do you know Kuaishou?
Kuaishou?
Like a TikTok, like Kuaishou. Kuaishou
is it like TikTok?
Yeah, earlier than that. And then I like every morning wake up, I'm doing that. Maybe I think 20 minutes and then 1 hour passed. So I stopped doing that. And then I get up really late, Before I always get up before 7. Now 7, outside still dark. Okay, back sleep. And then wake up 9:30. And then play ping pong, eating, and lunchtime already 11 or 12, half a day gone. So I said from tomorrow I will get up before 7. Okay, and
I'm adding that to my list too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wake up earlier.
Yeah, wake up early. There's not wake up, not back to sleep again. No.
Yes, I snooze way too much.
Yeah, but and too much, and then sleep too much, and then check the question too much, and then don't check the news for the Chinese. Better watching news in English. I feel sometimes I have, what? I want to try. Watching Netflix is because I want to improve my English, but I still not good. So, like my son said.
Can I tell you this?
Yeah.
You watching Netflix in English, is not a waste of time. That's and I understand you don't understand it. Yeah. It's okay. What you should try to do, if they have Chinese subtitles, put the Chinese subtitles on.
No Chinese title.
Then it's okay. I always tell my students when I was in China, because they all said the same thing and they get discouraged. Yeah. Watch the movie, and your mission is to pick out 5 words that you understood. If you watch a movie and you can pick out 5 words, or in your case, maybe 5 phrases or 5 sentences, great. Who cares if you have no idea what happened? You now were able to realize, oh, my ear works. I got 5 words or 5 phrases. That's all you need to do. If you do that, it becomes a good exercise.
Yeah. And then I'm watching the movie, I feel good. And then some word I don't understand, and then I check with myself on dictionary. And then doing this. And now I feel I can watching movies good. That's I feel, I'm okay with watch movie, but I still don't cannot write,
It will come.
Yeah.
It will come.
That is my problem. That's I said, am I right? What am I doing? Every day I look like more busy. I didn't waste time, but why I didn't do right things,
Well, now you're going to do it. This week, you're going to get to work.
Yeah.
Eliana, how about you? What's on your list? I'm muted.
Oh, sorry. What I'm going to stop doing was wasting time playing phone games, watching TikTok, and chatting with friends for long periods of time. And this will allow me to finish my University of the People coursework, plan to go scuba diving, or maybe actually go scuba diving, plan for a massage or self-care day, research like a shell for my laptop because it needs protection,
Got it.
plan an adventure to another part of the island, and my taxes.
Is that the same chair that you had in Egypt?
No,
I was gonna say, you took that on the plane with you?
no, I bought it here.
Got it, got it. Oh, yes, right. I got to do my taxes too. I'll add that to my list. It's that's completely. I think it's unimportant and
I think
not
so
urgent.
too, but I have to do it because
Yeah.
I've been thinking it's unimportant and not urgent for 2 years, and so I'm behind like 2 years.
Oh, also,
Oh,
Ilyana,
yeah.
I believe if you the $600 stimulus payment is coming to you as a tax refund for a lot of people. So if you didn't, you get it when you file, and then they'll give you the refund of the 600, or it might be at that point, by the time you file, maybe the 2000. So let's hope that comes through. And well, I'm inspired. Hope you guys are. I'm inspired to get off the meeting with this and immediately get to work on my list and make some of these things, things happen. How about you guys? Feeling good?
Yes.
Good, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Alice, it's always a pleasure to see you. This is your third event, maybe your fourth. It's awesome. It's
Almost
fantastic.
yeah, sometimes I understand what you are talking, but I cannot speak good, and I feel how I can say. Maybe I say you don't understand what I'm saying. Sometimes.
We understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You speak well. The only thing you need to improve is your grammar.
Yeah, that's
So that you're saying the right word in the right way, but we completely understand what you're saying.
Oh.
So
What did you what are you saying? And I said, oh, I don't say, like that.
don't even worry about it. Just your
Yeah.
pronunciation could
Yeah.
be improved a bit, but most importantly, I think your grammar. Fix your grammar, and I think everything is going to be easy. And that's why forcing yourself to read the Steven Covey book, for example,
Yeah.
you're going to have to force yourself to see what real grammar looks like.
This one, right?
Yes. And focus on, even if it takes you one day to read the whole page. Good.
Oh.
And read out loud like we did today. Read it out loud. You have to practice with words that look scary.
Yeah. This book is my son's. See, he should read them many times already like this. He said, Mom, if you can read this book, your English is good enough. And we should be really good at understand each other. My son look like more focus on this, follow this, doing good.
Well,
and I'm not doing good.
Doing well.
Doing well. Yeah. See, I say the word close, right? And then you understand what I want to say.
That's what I'm saying. We understand what you're saying. You just need to little tweak.
Okay.
Little tweak.
Yeah,
so for you guys on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We hope you will come join us at breakdiving.io. We're a worldwide not-for-profit community of winners from around the world, all trying to help one another. This was a book club event. And we have lots of events. We have foreign language events. We have exercise events. We have singing events. Lots of cool stuff. Please check us out. Also, please like the video. Click subscribe to help us get to 1,000 subscribers, and share with your friends. Everyone say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.